accidentals. Our next letter R stands for rhythm, rests and repeats. Firstly, clap through or say through, if you use words, clap through or work through the rhythm of the whole line of music. Are there any rests? Are there any repeats in the rhythm? Are there any repeats of notes? Are there any repeats of whole patterns, whole phrases? Or are there any repeat signs at the end to go back and repeat the piece? Let's have a look at this grade 1 piece from page 3, number 14, Happily. I can see that this bar in the rhythm, 1, 2 and 3, is repeated at the end, 1, 2 and 3. But the notes of the melody are different. So this rhythm and this rhythm are the same. This rhythm and this rhythm are not the same, but they're similar. 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not quite the same, but similar. Let's look at the line above, number 13, also on page 3. I'm in 2/4. I can see I have 2 whole beats of crotchets, 1, 2. That's repeated again, 1, 2, and again, 1, 2. Great. That gives me a really good anchor for rhythm. And in between, I've got 2 sets of quavers, 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, although the notes are different. So now I can see quite clearly, looking at the whole line, just the rhythm. It has this pattern repeated, this 2-bar pattern is repeated again, and I have that same crotchet rhythm and just a minim or a half note on the end. So rhythmically it would sound like this: 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2. Looking at that same example for my S with signs, grade 1, number 13, I can see it's to be played at the tempo or style grandly, so I wouldn't say that was very fast. It would be quite steady and slow. I have forte as a sign and no other dynamics, so I should remember to just stay loud, which can be tricky when the pressure is a little bit on for sight reading sometimes. But have confidence, just keep going. If you're working on a higher grade, let's look at the last page, grade 5 of the same book. Number 24, vivace, meaning very fast. I'm in the key of either D major or more likely B minor. It starts and ends on a B. I have many signs here and dynamics. Mostly forte, a few slurs, but the slurs work in a pattern, they seem to. Mezzo piano suddenly, and a crescendo into mezzo forte, then another crescendo into forte. That slurs pattern sort of comes back around. It's sometimes similar. With a lot of sight reading, they try and catch you out with things that you don't expect, to see if you're really truly reading, or are you imagining that the same thing is happening again in a pattern that isn't there. So just keep your eyes peeled. Okay, now we've run through all of the stars and requirements that we need to know before we start our sight reading and things to learn. Join me in the next video where I'm going to break this down a little bit further.